for the game today. So he's got the fresh look and the strong performance going.
Armstead back in the game now, and I would look for some high pick and roll action to try to free up a shooter, maybe Baker or Cotton, but really, Louisville has tightened up its defense big time.
Armstead tapped up and in. There were two shockers right there.
I think it was Early. Anthony Early got it.
Early and Baker, they give the basket to Early, and it's down to 3.
That was a quick hitting attack. That's how you've got to try to do it now. Obviously, the clock is winding down, but I think you have a better chance against the defense if you go earlier. Louisville, on the other hand, +3. No need to rush. They want to go high pick and roll, too.
Ncaa drives in, and it goes in. Goes off the rim and then the glass, and down for 2 more.
Unbelievable game for Hancock. 3 point-blank layups. The way Louisville hasn't been able to get in the paint all night.
Under a minute. Armstead, Jang on this match. And there's Early, grabs it, and puts it up and in. Timeout. Shockers. (67-64) Louisville.
Nice find late by Armstead, and Early knows what to do with it. -3 are the Shockers now, and Louisville with the ball. 46 seconds to go, so 11-second difference between game and shot clock.
A great call by Greg Marshall. He's got to get his players in tune with what the strategy is here. I think you play it out. I don't think you foul here, because if you make a stop at the end of that shot clock and get a rebound, you've got 10-11 seconds to work with. And if you do get a rebound, you push it in transition. As you mentioned, Clark, get an early shot. Your best chance to do that off a rebound running up the floor.
Boy, this is right on the line for whether or not you foul or not. But I agree with you, Steve. I think you play it out, be aggressive, get a stop without fouling, and you got to finish it off. You got to force a miss.
Trust your defense.
And how about Louisville, guys?
Put it in cool hand, Luke's hand, late in the clock.
They're going to let him inbound it right here.
They're going to run the clock. There's no question. They'll burn some clock, get it to Smith or Seba. Some high pick and roll action. Wow, they're fouling. They're going to try to extend this game.
Yeah, it's right. You know, it's right on the line. I would have probably played it out myself there.
But Smith's struggled at the line here tonight.
Yeah, but he's the kind of guy.
You don't want to put him in this situation in the late going, right?
Right.
Well, 82% on the year for Russ Smith, but those 4 early misses and now 1 of 6 overall. So maybe that was the strategy. If Smith gets it, maybe you foul him.
Double bonus, he'll be shooting 2.
That's the other reason I don't like fouling. If it's 1-and-1, the pressure increases infinitely on the shooter. When you get that second one, particularly with a 3-point lead, you can really breathe easy.
Splash that one.
There's Russ Smith Sr. right there with the hat on. Russ credits him with giving him the kind of resolve and tenacity that he brings to the floor.
Well, only 1 of 2. And a rebound picked off the floor by Baker.
Doesn't have to be 3 here, but it needs to be good and quick.
Armstead driving, puts it off the glass, too strong. Early up there in the air, and taps it home, and another timeout by the Shockers. This kid is something else.
Well, the strategy works for Greg Marshall. He gets the 1 free throw miss, and now the tip in, and it's down to 2. Early has just been terrific.
24 points, 15 in the second half. Talking about Division III National Junior College Player of the Year.
He's had a couple of marvelous putbacks, and that's a big one there. Louisville now, you have no shot clock here. You know, it's obvious if you're, I think you give yourself a few seconds if you're Wichita State to see if you can force a turnover or a mistake. 4 or 5 seconds perhaps, and then you foul.
On the other hand, if Smith gets the ball, maybe you go right at him. He's really struggled tonight. Just, what, 2 for 8 now?
2 for 8.
Wow. Well, heck, even if you're 82%, you miss 18 out of 100. He's missed his 6 out of 8 tonight.
So you're saying he's got to make about, what, his next 80 out of whatever?
Right, exactly.
But this is a different stage, you know, different pressure, totally. Dome, totally. You can very easily lose your way here.
And when you've struggled a bit, it can start to get inside of your head.
It can snowball on you.
Yeah.
When I think of this run by Greg Marshall and Wichita State, what they've done, beating Gonzaga 1, beating Ohio State at 2. Of course, they had to withstand a furious late rally by the Buckeyes. And he called in all of his resources that Greg apprenticed for 8 years at College Charleston under John Kress. And he called him in this week and said, break down tape all week for me at Louisville. I think old Coach Kress, in retirement now, did a pretty good job for us.
I would concur with that.
Tremendous game plan, and it took, what, about 32, 33 minutes for Louisville to get any traction in this game.
All right, now the inbounds from Hancock. It goes back to Smith. Will they put him on the line? They will indeed.
They heard you, Steve.
But you love the fact that Smith has no problem going and getting the ball. Some guys would shy away in that case. Not Russ.
Oh, are you kidding me? Russ Diculus, he's never shied away from going after that orange. Part of what makes him such a special player, that fearlessness, that confidence, that swagger.
It's a fourth foul on Baker. 82% to 2 out of 8, and 2 coming up. Up Armstead for Cotton.
A little offense, defense there. Armstead with the 4 fouls. But now offensively, he'll be the one to push the ball. And I think your strategy here depends on what happens with this free throw, whether you go for a 3 or a 2. It rattles both of them home off that front rim.
I still think it's a quick shot, a quick good shot. Doesn't have to be a 3, but it's got to be a quick good shot.
Armstead. Hancock's on him.
Taking too much time here.
17 to go.
Taking too much time here.
Baker takes it. Way off the mark. Underneath. That's going to count. Get the basket to Hall. 12 seconds to go, and it's a 2-point game.
14th offensive rebound for Wichita State. It's kept them in things here in the last few minutes. And now they pick up. Greg Marshall with 1 timeout left. I think Rick Pitino.
Yes, it's a Louisville timeout. Louisville timeout. Which Greg Marshall might be very appreciative of right now, right?
Yeah. Look at the work by Carl Hall on the weak side, just beating Bohannon. That's the toughness that so many of Wichita State's opponents have talked about after losses. Aaron Craft, Ramon Galloway, the comments are almost verbatim. They are physically tough. They wear you down. And they're doing this against the best team in the country. What an effort here, regardless of what happens for the Wheatchalkers.
It's an immediate foul for Wichita State, as we've seen the last 2 possessions. And it becomes a free throw shooting contest for Louisville. But if there's some way you can keep Smith from getting the ball, or Siva, make Bohannon or Jang get it, that's what you'd like to have happen if you're Wichita State.
Hancock to Jang, back
and they
to
didn't
Hancock.
foul it. They did not foul it.
And now they do.
Boy, they missed an opportunity.
Sure did. Jang just 65%. He had the ball, but more importantly, 65 is a decent number. More importantly, he's not used to being in this situation late in games, and he hasn't scored tonight.
That's
he
a
has not
blunder.
seen the
That's
ball
a
go
blunder
through the
on the part
basket.
of the Shockers. They forced the ball to go to Zhang, and Kevin Ware just is unable to look at this right now.
Two for Hancock.
We'll let somebody tell him about it, or the noise of the crowd will let him know what happened.
1 timeout remaining for Greg Marshall. Question now, do you push it and try to get a quick basket, or do you use that last timeout? I think you got to go here.
I agree.
So this, again, to make it a 2-possession game. And it's long. And the Shockers will tie up. The arrow's going Louisville's way. Oh! Baker had the rebound, and the Cardinals reached in and tied him up.
Baker just wasn't quite able to control it. He stumbled, and there's Luke Hancock. Wow, that was a little quick.
Quick call.
Yeah, it was. It was quick.
Yeah, I mean, you very easily could have called a foul because his hands were right in on Baker's arms.
And now Louisville, the inbound underneath with 6.3. Smith. But again, one make, two-possession game, and only 4:9 remaining.
That call is going to stick with Greg Marshall for a long time. I mean, if Baker gets out of there, now they've got transition down 3. Louisville defense scattered just a little bit. That's the best opportunity to get an open three-pointer.
Two for Smith. And that's huge.
Rick Pitino telling his team no fouls. And there you see Luke Hancock repeating it. No fouls.
And it's Baker. 2 seconds to go. Louisville backs off. Shot won't matter as Louisville withstands a great performance by Wichita State. The Cardinals close big and move on to Monday night. A 16-point swing over the final 13 minutes. Just a great game to watch.
Fantastic game.
And a fantastic performance by Wichita State.
Agreed and agreed. Executed the game plan. Some turnovers late. And you got to give a lot of credit to Louisville. Not on top of its game, got a great performance from Luke Hancock. Big shots from Henderson. Sped it up just enough to get things turned in their favor.
And make no mistake, they missed where? Because they weren't the same without him. Their defensive pressure. We'll see if it affects them on Monday. Only a couple days to prepare. They will miss their backcourt mate.
And they will meet on Monday night. The winner of Michigan or Syracuse. A nod to Greg Marshall and Wichita State. Rick Pitino, he doesn't know it, but as this game was going on, of course, a horse he co-owns won the Santa Anita Derby, is now a favorite for the Kentucky Derby. And his team closes big down the stretch here tonight in Atlanta.